killed so hard, I was scared I was gonna be famous and shit. And then it didn't happen like I wanted it to happen, and I got disappointed, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just do what I do. I love that. I love being able to say anything I want. I had to learn to stop caring about people not laughing. Because the idea of comedy really is not everybody should be laughing. Right. It should be about 50 people laughing and 50 people horrified. Right. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be people that get it and people that don't get it. People, for some reason, the people who don't get it have a lot more energy to say you suck.
From the top. Yeah, let me just
Mr. Parés Ratliff.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. This means a lot. Wouldn't it be crazy if all the comedians that you've seen so far, you know, if this was all just an elaborate ruse for a timeshare presentation? Wouldn't that be fucked up? Oh, man, that'd be fucked up.
Well, surprise.
Bring out the pie tarts. We got them. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. We got them. Have you thought about saving your next vacation, ma'am? I don't know. Ah, shit. I've been doing comedy for 14 years. 14. I'm still broke, though. I'm still broke. I've been doing comedy for 14 years, and people ask me all the time, like, why do you do stand-up comedy? Do you do it because you want money? Do you do stand-up comedy because you want to be famous? Do you do stand-up comedy because you want to be infamous, you want to be popular, you want people to like you? Actually, none of those reasons are the reason I do stand-up comedy. Actually, I do stand-up comedy for a more personal reason. I do stand-up comedy because I want to have sex with white women. That's why I do it. I don't got no white pickup lines. I don't know how to. I don't got no white pickup line. Also, I do stand-up comedy because my mom's in the room right now. She's actually right there, my mom. Don't clap. Don't clap. Don't put your hands up. This ain't about you right now. I do stand-up comedy because I can say pussy in my mother's face. And you can't do nothing about it because I'm working right now. This is another reason I like doing stand-up comedy. Juneteenth was yesterday. That was exciting, right? Juneteenth was yesterday. That was exciting. How many white people you eat yesterday? Anybody? You ate some white people yesterday? It's okay, blacks. Any white people did you eat? You didn't consume any? You didn't consume any white people? You still got some whites in your beard. Let me get it out right there. Juneteenth is like black people's purge. You can eat, it's legal to eat white people during Juneteenth. Huh? You look delicious. You just next year. Shit, man. You guys like movies? You like movies? I love movies. I'm a huge movie guy. And do you know that some of life's greatest quotes comes from some of our favorite movies? For example, one of my favorite quotes comes from the movie The Matrix. Remember The Matrix? And it's when Morpheus told Neo, don't think you are, know you are. And you guys might not know this right now, but you're about to find out tonight that I'm one of the greatest comedians to ever walk the face of the earth. And it's not because I think I am, it's because I know I am. And that made me think about this. That must be exactly how P. Diddy feels right now. That's how P. Diddy feels. Let me explain. You know, I'm old enough to remember all 6 Chicago Bulls championships. I remember all 6. They beat who? The Los Angeles Lakers, the Seattle Supersonics, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Phoenix Suns, and they beat Utah twice. And half of those wins were because Dennis Rodman was sexually assaulting players on the court. We have to give it up for Dennis Rodman. He's a Hall of Famer. Dennis booty grabbing Rodman. I'm old enough to remember the Beanie Baby craze of the early 1990s. I remember the Beanie Baby craze. Everybody thought they were going to be rich, right? Everybody thought they were going to be rich. You could buy 2 grams of cocaine and some gently used pussy in exchange for a Claude the Crab. I was around that time. I remember when you could do these things. I'm old enough to remember when McDonald's mascot, Ronald McDonald, was a full-fledged gang leader. Remember this? It was Grimace, the Hamburglar, the Fry Kids, that yellow bird bitch. I think she was a prostitute for this. Okay. Mac Tonight. Remember Mac Tonight? And this is the crazy part. He even had local law enforcement and the government in his pocket. Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac. Remember them? I'm old enough to remember all 12 of Little Kim's faces. All 12 of them. I've seen them all. I've seen all 12 of Little Kim's faces. I've seen Danny Glover Little Kim. I've seen Michael Jackson Little Kim. Little Kim then changed her face so many times. Sometimes she wakes up and she looks in the mirror. She's like, oh, shit. Oh, that's right. It's me. I'm old enough to remember when VHS tapes was $60 a pop. Remember that? $60 a pop of VHS tapes. That's how old I am. But that's just for the regular ones, you know. The other ones cost $90. You know what the other ones are. It used to cost $90 to jag off in the early 90s, you know. I'm old enough to remember 1995. That's 1 year before the introduction of the WNBA, or as some of us call it, the good old days. And I said all that to say this. P. Diddy is the horniest motherfucker that has ever walked the face of the earth. Why is P. Diddy so horny? He's just so horny. Like, he made baby oil evil. Baby oil. He made baby oil evil. You know what I'm saying? Imagine this. Imagine this, right? Imagine going into your gynecologist, right? You go to the gynecologist, right? All right. You have to see your paperwork. Imagine going into the gynecologist, right? You go into the gynecologist, and as soon as you walk through that door, your gynecologist has face tattoos. Now, you know, you're gonna look at it, you're gonna be like, you know, I guess. That's how we feel with baby oil now, because you know, you don't feel the same. Remember when people used to come to your house, you would have baby oil just out, you know, just in the bathroom, just out. Now when people come over, you hide your baby oil because you don't want to be associated with Diddy. It's just diabolical, baby oil, you know? He made baby oil evil. Why is P. Diddy so goddamn horny? I saw a report, this is all alleged, but I saw a report that said that P. Diddy hired an escort off of Craigslist. What? That's a red flag right there. He hired a male escort off of Craigslist. And this male escort bust a nut on his girlfriend's chest. Sorry, Mom, I know this is happening right now. Bust a nut on his girlfriend's chest. And then P. Diddy, with his hand, scooped the nut off his girlfriend's chest and rubbed it on his nipples. I'm not making this up. Who got a phone? Google it. You can Google this. He rubbed it on his nipples. Now, I consider myself a pretty freaky young man. Let me tell you this. I wouldn't even take his hat and put it on my bare head, let alone spread semen on my nipples. And this makes me think P. Diddy was right. More money, more problems. And the problem is, P. Diddy never has enough semen. That's his problem right there. I don't know. See what else I want to talk about. Speaking of P. Diddy, it's Pride Month. I'm taping this special, doing Pride Month right now. 3 or 4 people clap for Pride Month. It's okay. I want to say this on camera. Where's the camera? Right there. Listen, I want to say this on camera. Gay people have come a very, 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 very... You gay? Oh. Hey, that's good. That's good. But you maybe have come a very, very, very long way. That's true. But listen, let me tell you something. I'm old enough. This is a theme right here, me being old enough. I'm old enough to remember when gay people used to get their asses kicked just for being gay. Remember, they used to get their asses kicked just for being gay. Oh, please, don't kick my ass. God made me this way. And then a guy that's homophobic will be like, that's not what God said. And he'll just punch him in his dick. Punch him in his dick that he's not using correctly, according to God. I'm old enough to remember when we used to use, fun words. Fun words like fag and bulldagger. Back in the day, we could use very fun to use words like that. Fag and bulldagger. Really, like you can see your homie playing basketball and he's shooting and he missed. You can be like, you're a fag, you're a fag, and it was okay, I was walking through Boys Town the other day. Don't ask why. I was walking through Boys Town. To the people watching at home, Boys Town is a place in Chicago. It's the gayest place in Chicago, hands down. It's in the name, Boys Town. You been to Boys Town? I'm gonna have to check your pants when you get out of here. She might have a penis. I don't know. We have to check. But I was walking through Boys Town, and I got jumped by 6 gay men. 6 gay men jumped me. But here's the kicker. They didn't even kick my ass. They just changed my outfit. I was like, what the? I got up off the ground. I had on booty shorts and a tank top. I was like, ain't this a bitch? But here's the thing, though. This is the most embarrassing part about it. The most embarrassing part is I didn't know who to call. So I called 911. And when I called 911, the dispatcher was like, 911, what's your emergency? And I was like, I was walking through Boys Town, right? And they're jumping poorly dressed niggas in Boys Town and changing their outfits. And she was like, excuse me? What did you say? I said, they're jumping poorly dressed niggas in Boys Town and changing their outfits. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that happen to you. Do you want me to send a unit out to help you? And at that very moment, I looked at the building that was to my right, and I could see my reflection through the glass. I didn't realize I had that much ass in those shorts. She was like, sir, are you still there? I was like, yeah, I'm still there. She said, do you want me to send a unit out to help you? I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'll be all right. We're living in some strange times, man. We're living in some strange times. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been jerking off? Right? You ever been jerking off? and as soon as you finish, you realize you missed your train stop? No? It's 2025. It's 2025. It's been an amazing year, but I will say this. White people have been on fire lately, haven't they? Haven't white people have been on fucking fire. Congratulations to the white people. To the white gays. Congratulations to the white people. And you know what? It all started with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, who on my last special I said is probably the greatest white woman that has ever lived, Caitlin Clark. She beat out black-ass Angel Reese in what might be the most historic or most talked about Rookie of the Year selection in WNBA history. And right after that, the man himself, Donald Trump, beat former Vice President Kamala Harris, who is an Indian woman who identifies as black when it's convenient. I just said that right now in the Beacon Pub. Kamala Harris is an Indian woman who identifies as black when it's convenient. I just said that right now in the Beacon Pub. And shortly after that, a white YouTuber named Jake Paul, you know who Jake Paul is? He beat former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson's ass in front of the world. And it was at that very moment that I realized the race war has officially begun and white people are up like 2,000 points. And because of Diddy, we're down -8. Goddamn Diddy. We living in some strange times, man. Do you guys know that I'm the exact same age that Martin Luther King was when he was assassinated back in 1968? I'm the exact same age that Martin Luther King was when he was assassinated back in 1968. And I know niggas used to age different back then. I mean, I look good. I mean, I don't know. We all thought Martin Luther King, when he died, he was about 60 years old, right? Like I thought he was in his 60s. This nigga was 39 years old. He was 39 years old. Black does crack for some reason. I don't know. He was 39. It's been 62 years. It's been 62 years since Martin Luther King's iconic I Have a Dream speech. Did you guys know that? 62 long years. And I want to be the first person to say it right here. That nigga's dream hasn't come true yet. And it's all our fault. It's all our fault. It's your 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 fault. With that face right now, it's especially your fault. It's your fault. It's all of our faults. It's all of our faults. It's even my fault. Because we're all terrible people deep down inside. We're all terrible people. We do terrible things. For example, I think we should bring back discrimination. I think we should bring back discrimination. But I'm not talking about that get to the back of the bus nigga discrimination. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that get your black hands off my Subway sandwich discrimination. You know? I'm a restaurant bigot. I don't want your black hands touching my Subway sandwich when I go up in there. Get your black hands off my Subway sandwich. I only want Indian hands making my Subway sandwich. I'm a restaurant bigot. When I walk in the Subway and I see black hands making a sandwich, I just walk the fuck right back out. I don't want black hands making my Subway sandwich. There's something about Indian hands that just make the sandwich taste better, don't it? When you see an Indian man, when I walk in the Subway, I want to see an old Indian man in the corner playing a wind instrument. and Kamala Harris making my Subway sandwich. I only want Indian hands. I only want Indian hands making my Subway sandwich. Fuck it. Fuck it. Get your Chinese hands off my fried chicken. Get your Chinese hands off my fried chicken. I'm a restaurant bigot. Why is Wong making my fried chicken? But here's the thing though. Chinese people actually can fry the shit out of some chicken. They can fry the shit out of some chicken, but it's good, but it's missing something, right? It's missing something. You know, it's struggle. It's missing struggle. It's no struggle in that chicken, you know? I like my chicken a little slavey. I like a little slave. I like slavey chicken. I like civil rights chicken. I like civil rights chicken. I like that get to the back of the bus chicken. That's what I like. I don't. Get your Mexican hands off my fried rice. Get your Mexican hands off my fried rice. You ever walked into a Chinese restaurant, you look to the back, and you see Jose back there with a wok? You're like, what the fuck is Jose doing with that wok? Why Wong? Why is Jose holding that wok? Jose, put that wok down. You can't make empanadas with that. I think we should bring back discrimination, man. We're all terrible people, including me. Warning. Black people, you're not going to like this next one. Sorry, you're not going to like this. But I think that black people should give white men reparations. I just said that right now in the Beacon Pub. I just said that. But I'm not talking about money or land. I'm talking about giving them back, you know, American muscle cars like Chargers and Challengers and shit like that. We've had a long run with the Chargers and Challengers. I think it's time for us to give it back to white men. You ever seen a white man in a Charger or a Challenger? You be like, what the fuck is he doing? It just don't look right. I want to give it back to white people because I'm tired of the stereotype of it's always being black people when you see Chargers and Challengers. I feel sorry for white families sometimes, you know, like when they go to an event or they go to like the mall or the movies or something and they look in the parking lot and there's Chargers and Challengers in the parking lot. Because you know what they're thinking. They're here. And I know it's true because that's the same thing I think when I see it. I be like, oh, shit. Left my gun at home. I know. Another one of my favorite movie quotes comes from the movie Harry Potter. Any Harry Potter fans in here? Harry Potter? Just a few people. It's when the character Dumbledore says, you can find happiness even in the darkest of times. That's one of the quotes he said. I really like that quote. You can find happiness even in the darkest of times. And I really hope that that's true. Because in America and all around the world, we are in some very, very, very dark times right now. Very dark times. But the difference between us and Harry Potter is he has a magic wand. And I'm jealous of that because I wish I had a magic wand. It's one thing that he does have that I don't like. He has the same haircut that Demi Moore had in the movie Ghost. I was like, why they do Harry Potter like that? But I wish I had a magic wand. If you had a magic wand, what would be the first thing? The very, very, very first thing you would do? Don't ask you? I know what you would do. I can read minds. We'll get back to you. If you had a magic wand, the very, very, very first thing you would do if you had a magic wand?
Get myself more money.
You would get yourself more money. If you had a magic wand, what would be the very, very first thing you could do? It could be anything in the world. More money. If you had a magic wand, what would be the first thing that you would do?
I would fly.
You would fly. All right. You. If you had a magic wand, what would be the very first thing you would do?
New car?
You would get a new car. What about you? I'll come back. What would be the first thing you would do? You had a magic wand. You could do anything. New car? You.
President.
You would be the president. All right. Let's see. You right here, yellow shirt. What would be the first thing you would do if you had a magic wand?
Get a new condo and a new woman.
New condo, new woman. All right. You. First thing you would do if you had a magic wand? A threesome with Tiana Taylor. Now, remember the joke before this one when I said that we were all terrible people deep down on the inside? Nobody said bring grandma back. Nobody said go down to the children's hospital and heal the sick. We all just went straight to greed. And she didn't say nothing, but I'm thinking it was some type of crime that she was on. This gentleman said flying. Sex crimes right there. It's flying. But you know what? I'm no different from none of y'all, because if I had a magic wand, the very first thing that I would do would probably involve me getting my dick sucked. Thorocus pocus. Thorocus pocus. Here's a fun fact. That's the same sound that I make when I eat pussy. I deep throat pussy. Sorry, Mom. I deep throat pussy. And when I eat pussy, tears be coming down my eyes and shit. She be holding my hair. I be like, hold on, not to the I deep throats pussy. Let me see. All right. It's about to get. I'm about to go on a limb with this next thing about it. I'm about to go on a limb. And I'm about to say this. Women's Month was a complete disaster this year, right? It was a complete bomb. Nobody cared about Women's Month. Clap your hands if you cared about Women's Month. See what I'm saying? Nobody did it right away. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. One person, the gay woman, one person cared about. One person cared about Women's Month. It was a catastrophe. It was a Hiroshima bomb. Nobody cared about. Women's Month was so bad this year that I heard Caitlyn Jenner considered getting her penis back. That's how bad Women's Month was. But here's the thing, it's not even women's fault. You wanna know whose fault it is? Disney. It's Disney's fault. So you guys don't remember, earlier this year, a movie came out called Snow White. It was the live action version. People hated that fucking movie. People hated it. You hated it, right? People hated that movie because it was feminist, misogynist. It was like a lot of, only people that liked that movie was kids. Everybody hated that movie. It's like Disney just took Women's Month and shoved it right up Mickey Mouse's ass. Just stuck it right up Mickey Mouse's ass. And here's the thing about that. It wasn't even called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs like what we grew up on. It was just called Snow White. Mickey Mouse said, fuck midgets. Disney said, fuck midgets. Midgets need jobs, right? Don't they? Think about it. When's the last time you seen a midget? Are there any midgets in here right now? No. The closest midget we got in here is Hillary. She's the closest thing to a midget. Sorry, Hillary, I love you. But when is the last time you seen a midget? Instagram, right? I'm talking about in person. Why are they hiding the midgets? I'm not asking you. I'm just talking right now. Where are the fucking midgets? I treat midgets. This is how rare midget sightings are. This is how rare midget sightings are. Midget sightings are so rare that I treat midgets like shooting stars. You know, every time I see one, I make a wish. Oh shit, there's one right there. Bring grandma back. I don't know. And you want to know what else is crazy about that movie? It was called Snow White. But the actress that played Snow White wasn't even white. She was some weird Venezuelan or some shit like that. And I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, why isn't she standing in front of Home Depot right now? Why is she walking through the forest with birds and squirrels on her shoulders? She should be in front of Home Depot. Please, please, my family, please. Climbing in pickup trucks, trying to lay drywall and flooring. Why the fuck? That's a terrible, I'm sorry, Venezuela. That's a terrible thing. You wanna know what's crazy? She's not even Venezuelan either. She's Colombian. She's Colombian. But Venezuela and Colombia, they're like right next to each other. It's like this much, you know, they're like this far apart. It's like a booty hole in a pussy. You know, it's like they're right there. So it can become confusing sometimes with Venezuela and Colombia. You ever been having sex in the dark and she be like, wrong hole, fool? You be like, oh shit. And you know, that's how you can confuse Venezuelans and Colombians. I don't know, man. Disney has been a DEI nightmare. A DEI nightmare. I like my white characters, you know. I want things just to stay the same. I don't want my white characters black. I don't want my black characters Indian. I don't want my Indian characters Mexican. And for some reason, all the Mexican characters are retarded. I don't know why they keep doing this. This is a DEI nightmare. Everything is too PC. And everything is gay now, especially in Disney. Everything is gay. I was watching a new live action Little Mermaid movie, and during the Kiss the Girl scene, if you look very close at that scene, and you look in the far left corner, you can see Flounder licking Sebastian's asshole. If you just look back, and I'm just like, Disney, why are you doing this to me? Because you know what I want? You know what I want? You know what I want? I want my Disney how everybody else loves their Disney. Racist. That's how I want my Disney. I want my Disney racist. Like, remember the crows from the Dumbo movie? Remember that? Remember the crows? Obviously they're niggas, right? The crows, remember? Obviously they're niggas. I be done seen about everything. I see an elephant fly. Obviously they were niggas. And see, that's where the magic, white lady, that's where the magic of Disney came from. The magic of Disney was in the racism. The magic of Disney was in the racism. We need to bring the racism back. I got confirmation from a white woman. She knows. I want Disney, make Disney racist again. That's what that's what I would like. I can't wait until they come out with a new Cars movie, you know, and they can still keep, you know, Lightning McQueen, but they need to add 2 new characters. A Charger and a Challenger. Voiced by me and the ghost of Charlie Murphy. Oh, man. I Oh, okay. Oh, this is okay. All right. On my last comedy special, actually on my last 2 comedy specials, I talked about how difficult it is being black. On my last 2 comedy specials, I talked about that. On this comedy special right here, I want to talk about a new plight. A new plight that bothers me. And the plight that I want to talk about is how impossible it is to be a woman. It's impossible, right? It's impossible being a woman. Now, I've never been a woman. Well, I have taken my penis and tucked it in between my butt cheeks just to see what it looks like, but I've never been a woman, but I imagine it's very difficult to be a woman. If I was a woman, I probably would have died about 15 years ago. That's how difficult it is being a woman from the outside looking in. Fellas, do you realize that women bleed on schedule? They have scheduled bleeding. Scheduled bleeding. They have scheduled bleeding. That's hard to comprehend as a man. Just imagine as a man having scheduled diarrhea. Just imagine this. Like you know it's coming, you just don't know when, but you know it's... And when it comes, your stomach hurts, you feel bloated, and you feel disgusted. You know, like you feel bloated, your stomach hurts, and you feel disgusting. And the entire time while that's happening, your girlfriend is nudging you with her elbow, trying to get her dick sucked. You know? It pisses you off because you're bloated, your stomach hurts, and you feel disgusted. It pisses you off, but you love her, so you suck your girlfriend's dick anyway. Because that's your bookie boo. You suck your girlfriend's dick anyway, and as soon as you get done, she just goes back to playing PlayStation or whatever. Whatever the fuck women do when they get done. You know, getting that dick sucked. It's impossible being a woman, man. It's impossible being a woman. Like when you guys meet men for the first time, you go on the first date, just not knowing what type of dick you're gonna get. You know this? You just never know what type of dick you're gonna get. You know, I mean, I'm as a man, we pretty much can see what we're gonna get. Oh, she's pretty, titties, ass. That's pretty much it. You just assume she has a pussy. But for a lot of us in here, not having a pussy isn't even a deal breaker. You know, for some men in here. Not talking about myself. But see, with women, you never know what type of dick you're gonna get. You know, you can't just look at the guy and just assume like, is it too big? Is it too small? Is it circumcised? Is it uncircumcised? Ew. You know what I mean? Does it have a hook? I mean, you just don't know. You don't know what type of dick you're gonna get. That's very hard. It's very hard for a woman. And you assume, like you see a white guy, you know, oh, he probably has a small dick. I watch a lot of porn. There's some huge white dicks out there. I'm just letting you know. But being a woman is very impossible. What about when your period doesn't show up? Like when your period doesn't show up, that's a whole other ball game right now. Now shit gets a little dicey. Like when your period doesn't show up, now it's like a Dragon Ball Z cliffhanger. What's your name? Monique? All right. Is Monique pregnant by, what's your name? You want to use Bubba? That's cool, we can call you Bubba. Is Monique pregnant by Bubba, who works at Walgreens and doesn't have a car? Or is Monique pregnant by Robin? I have to pretend I don't know you. Is she pregnant by Robin? Or is Monique pregnant by Robin, who is married with 3 kids happily and doesn't have any doesn't have any what's the word I'm looking for? Any plans on being with her for real? Is this? Let's find out next time on the next episode of Monique's Pussy. It's impossible being a woman. We living in some crazy times, man. We living in some crazy times. Yesterday was Juneteenth, where I consumed a numerous amount of white flesh. That's true. It was Juneteenth. But it also was the day that I celebrated my 40th birthday. I celebrated my 40th birthday. And see, here's the thing though. When I was in my 30s, I was considered a young ass old nigga. But now that I'm in my 40s, I'm just an old ass nigga. It just didn't change. My new pronouns are he, him, nigga, and unk. These are my new pronouns. The new kids call me unk now. And see, here's the thing about getting old, man. Getting old sucks. Getting old, it sucks because now every time I go outside, I hope and pray that nothing happens where I have to make a run for it. That's what I hope. After 35, your knees just ain't shit no more. My knees are ticking time bombs. It sucks. It sucks getting old, man. And when you get older, people ask you dumbass questions like, why don't you date women your age? Like, why the fuck would I want to do some shit like that? They ask me dumbass questions like this. The girl that I'm talking to now is 25 years old. She's 25. That's right. I'm a pimp. She's 25 years old. And here's the thing though, man. I give her money. I buy her clothes. I buy her shoes. I get her hair done. I get her nails done. I take her on nice trips. I even got an apartment for her that I was paying the rent for. I even did this. And I did all of these wonderful things. And I'm pretty sure you know what she does to me. That's right. She cheats on me. That's right. I hate women! Getting older is strange, man. When you get older, you start picking up all these weird diseases that you never heard about, like I'm actually suffering from a disease right now. So we might as well address the elephant in the room because I know you all see it. I know you can see it. Have you ever heard of BAFD? Have you ever heard of BAFD? Nobody? BAFD? Nobody? That's big ass face disorder. I have a big ass face. Nobody tells you that when you get a certain age, your face just starts gaining weight out of nowhere. It's like, why the fuck? I'm tired as fuck right now because my face is heavy. Y'all laughing, but I got eyes. I'm looking into the crowd. Some of y'all got BAFD too. It's like some of y'all suffer from BAFD just like me. Here's another thing that sucks about getting old. You could be healthy. You could be strong. You could be having a good day, and then you go to sleep. You have a good night's sleep. And then you wake up in the morning, as a man, right? You wake up in the morning, and for some reason, you're 2 months pregnant. Like, I don't know, like, what the fuck is this? Like, where does this come from? It's like, I can't even suck this in. Like, it's just there. Like, I don't even know, you can't even suck this in. Like, when you just get over 35, you just get this weird stomach, It's like, I was like, did somebody nut in me? Or what is it? Like, did I get stung by a bee? Like, what? Alexa, what is a tumor? Like, why is my stomach like this. And this is how I know it got bad. I was walking down the street. And this little boy, he had to be about 5 years old. He started calling me by my nickname. He was like, P. I was like, what's up, little man? He was like, P. I'm like, yeah, I'm P. He was like, P. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I got a little man, gave him about 5, and I walked over, and as I was walking over, I was like, I don't know that little boy at all. Like, how the fuck did he know my nickname? And then I looked down and realized he wasn't talking about my name. He was talking about my shape. Like, I'm shaped like the letter P. This shit, my body is off balance. Like, I've been thinking about getting a BBL just to even this shit out. I need to go get me some ass. Like, I don't know, man. We're living in some crazy times. The last movie quote that I want to talk about, this movie quote comes from the movie Dark Knight, when Harvey Dent said that you can either die a hero or you can live long enough to become the villain. And that brings me to Donald Trump, right? Everybody's afraid of Donald Trump except for me. I'm not afraid of Donald Trump. You want to know what I'm afraid of? TikTokers and twerkers. That's what I'm afraid of. Because you guys haven't thought about this, but that's who's going to be running the country in the next 50 years. TikTokers and twerkers. And I don't think I want a president that probably did the Tide Pod Challenge. You know? You guys know what the Tide Pod Challenge is? That's when a dummy takes a phone, he sets it up, he gets a fork and a knife, and he eats a Tide Pod on camera. And he doesn't do it for money. He does it for something that's more valuable to him. Likes. He does it for likes. I don't think I want a president that probably did the blackout challenge. You guys ever heard of that? The blackout challenge? That's when a dummy sets up a camera and he takes a belt and he ties it around his neck and he pulls it until he actually blacks out. Now, I've taken the belt and I've tied it around my neck and I've pulled it until I blacked out before. But at least I was jerking off when I did. Mine's had a purpose. But that brings me back to Donald Trump, man. He's been really, he keeps his promises. Donald Trump keeps his promises. When he got in office, his first order of business was Mexicans and gays. As soon as he got in there, he started packing up Mexicans like White Castle cheeseburgers and just shipping them off. And then when it came down to the gays, man, nobody hates gays more than Donald Trump. He signed an executive order where he made it illegal for trans women to be within 50 feet of a basketball. Did you see this shit? Donald Trump, man. How do we feel about Donald Trump? No? Yeah, boo. I was thinking about ICE. ICE has been kicking, they've been kicking the Mexicans' asses, man. And see, here's the thing about that, though. I was thinking about the last 2 years of my life. I've been shot. I got jumped by 8 people. You know this. I got jumped by 8 people. This was a little bit after I got shot. I got jumped by 8 people. And then shortly after that, I was in this area called O Block, and somebody broke into my vehicle, and they stole my wallet. What all of those things have in common is niggas did it. That's the So it made me think, like, maybe ICE might be fucking with the wrong people. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I'll end with this. I don't think that Donald Trump is interested in running the country. I think he's really just trying to get his merch off. That's what it looks like to me. He just came out with a phone. Did you see this? It's called Trump Mobile. No, T-Mobile is rolling their eyes at that shit. Like, this motherfuckers. Trump has phones, shoes, cologne, hats, ties. It don't seem like he's trying to run the country. It seems like Donald Trump is trying to run a corner store. Oh, man. I guess I'll end on a big one. One time I packed up all my dick jokes. And I went to London, England, of all places. I went to London, England, of all places. I packed up all my dick jokes and I went to London. And when I got to London, it was a very strange and whimsical place when I got to London. Everybody was so happy when I got to London. And I was walking around, I was looking for a movie theater, and I kept asking, like, yo, where's the movie theater? They was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, where's the movie theater? I don't know what you're talking about. It was like, oh, you mean the cinema? I'm like, yeah, the cinema. Where's the cinema? So then I started walking around, and I'm finding people, they're like, oh, you need to go down there, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm asking people, like, okay, where do I make a turn at? And every time I would talk to somebody, I would like, excuse me, do you know what such and such street is? And they would be like, hello. Hello. And I realized I don't like British greetings. I don't like British greetings. Everybody sounds like that over there. Hello. You know that the post office is also like the bodega in England? Did you know this? It's like the post office is like a bodega. So I went in there, and there was an Arab guy in there. I was like, oh, okay, all right, excuse me. Do you know how to get to such and such street? And he was like, hello. And I was like, all right, no, I don't need this. And then I started walking, and I seen some Chinese. There's no Mexicans in London, only Chinese people. They do all the Mexican work. It was some Chinese roofers. And I waved at the Chinese roofers like, hey, how you doing, guys? And the Chinese roofer was like, hello. And I was like, all right, this is getting strange. And then a black guy ran up to me, and I think he was about to rob me. He was like, give it to me. I was like, give you what? He was like, hello. And I'm like, all right, I had enough of this shit. And then I seen a white woman. She was a beautiful white blonde woman. She was walking a dog. And I was like, I know what's about to happen, but I'm gonna, excuse me, do you know where I can find such and such street? And she was like, yeah, you go down there to the pub and you make a left. You know, you're gonna run right into it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I looked down at the dog and I was like, oh, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? And the dog looked at me and said, hello. And I'm like, all right, this place, I'm sick of this fucking place. So I started running, and I ran through a group of pigeons. And the pigeons just started flying, hello, 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 hello. The pigeons just flying away, hello. And I'm like, what the fuck is this weird-ass, whimsical place? And at that exact time, my phone started ringing. I looked at it. It was my mom. So I answered it. This was cool because I was having a nervous breakdown. So I'm glad that my mom was calling me. She was right on time. And I answered the phone, and I was like, hello. And I was like, oh, no, they got me. They got me. All right, everybody. My name is Parés Ratliff. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate you guys coming out. Let's give it up for all the comedians and all the comedians that went up tonight. All the comedians that went up tonight. Can you come up to the stage? All the comedians that went up tonight. I appreciate this. I appreciate these guys. Young lady right here. Conflict, can you come up here too? You know, you come up here too. You know, I appreciate all these comedians, Eric K. These are comedians that I've watched. I've watched these comedians. The two black people stand next to each other. All the black people, including Eric, whose nickname is Jamal. We all stand next to each other. I've watched all these comedians grow in this pub right here, and that's why I decided to do this special here. I love each and every and last one of these guys, and you know, I thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this shit tonight. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have an amazing career. And it's way better than this bullshit that I got going on. But thank you guys for coming out, man. And we got an open mic every Monday right at this place. And there's actually an open mic that's about to happen right now. So if you want to try your shit out, 2 marks in the mic. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for coming out. Good night.
Let me just enjoy the moment. Yeah, I don't even know where this moment going.